From a rainy Sunday afternoon here, but at least all the snow is gone and temperatures are on the rise. We are up to week 10. This week and next week are basically kind of the last two instructional weeks in terms of going over anything new related to the Moodle projects. And as I talked to many of you about in our meetings last week, really the focus then after that is going to be using the bulk of the remaining time to just work on those projects and get them finished up in the last 4 or so weeks of the class, along with the technology integration plans. So here is our quick overview for the week. It's pretty straightforward. In terms of those technology integration plans, phase 4 is now available. Technically, phase 3 is due this week. Phase 4 is going to be focused mainly on professional development or on training, depending on who your target audience is. It may be training for teachers, it may be training for students, it may be a little of both, or whoever your target audience is in terms of who's going to have to use this technology. So you'll be taking a look at that and coming up with some proposals. Let me jump to that page right here just to kind of go over it. So phase 4, similar to the previous ones, you're going to be typing up a document and submitting it to the assignment, but it is focusing on the training for the use of the software. So, whatever software, hardware you're planning on using, make sure that you understand it relatively well so that you kind of can develop a effective plan for training people. Think about what you think the biggest roadblocks are going to be. Is it going to be an integration issue? Is it going to be just people aren't used to using technology issue? Be realistic with your timelines. Don't assume that things are going to go faster than you think they will. In fact, oftentimes they will go slower. So you want to make sure that you don't rush this training phase of things. Think about differentiation just like you would in a classroom. How are your plans going to address different people that are trying to learn how to use this software? And what sort of tool might you use to assess whether the training has been effective or whether you need to spend more time training? So kind of going through those topics, those things, you'll come up with your Word document and submit it. Phase 2 of the TIPs, I have returned comments on. I apologize. I meant to get those back to you much earlier. And it just took me longer than I thought. So if you go into that assignment in our Moodle and open up the grade, you will see feedback comments there with my feedback. And again, the grade I threw in was a 95 for everybody, just so that I could report the comments. But remember that basically the grade for the activity in the end will be off of your final document. So that 95 is really just kind of a placeholder at this point. All right, so that covers our TIP work. In terms of the Moodle work this week, the production work, the focus this week is on what some people call Web 2.0. I've actually been using that term less and less. I like to call it the interactive web. But basically just to get a bit of an idea about what those terms mean and how they apply to the use of the internet. And then you're going to be looking for some tools that you might be able to incorporate into your Moodle that would fall into these interactive website kinds of tools. So as an example, in my classes, in my music classes, we use a program called, I just totally lost the name of it. It is called, I can't believe I don't remember the name. That is really weird. Anyways, it is an online program that lets students write and notate music. They can write scores, they can write, lyrics and everything else. And it allows them to, NoteFlight, that's the name of the program. So it allows students to do notation, music notation online. They don't need to load anything on their computers. It's accessible from any machine with internet. So that would be an example of an interactive web tool that I could integrate, and I do integrate into my Music First classrooms by bringing in assignments from it or by linking to it for students to use. So you're, for yourselves, for your Moodles, going to be looking for options that you could integrate into your Moodle. You'll be trying to look at a couple of options, and since you're not actually going to be creating the Web 2.0 tools this week, the production forum is really more going to be a discussion forum in a way, and that you're going to identify a couple of possible things, possible interactive websites that you might be able to incorporate and to do a little evaluation of them. So there is an introduction page about Web 2.0 and interactive web to go over first, but then there's a production forum that's going to have a couple of specific things for you to address in terms of this idea of these interactive web tools. Because this will be probably a little bit of a longer post, I do suggest that you do the writing of your post in something else like Word or Google Docs, just because I do know that the Moodle forums will time out after a while, and I just don't want you to lose your work if the forum times out while you're trying to type your answer. So you can pull these questions into another document, kind of work out your answers, and then just copy and paste them into the forum. Since several of you are working in similar directions, it's going to definitely be meaningful for you to come back and take a look at these tools that other people are posting. You may find somebody else suggesting an interactive web tool that could work really well for whatever you're working on. So this is meant not only for you to evaluate something for yourself, but also to get a chance to maybe see some of the tools that are out there that other people are using in their classrooms. So that's the new Moodle activity for this week, is revolving around that interactive web stuff. And that's really it. Aside, as always, from just continuing to work on those Moodle projects, it's TIP Phase 4 gets underway, and take a look at those couple of activities related to interactive web / Web 2.0. Keep working on your Moodles. Next week, our final week of sort of new instruction will be about assessment and about doing online assessments and some of the pitfalls and strategies that you can use when you're having to assess students online. And that will really mark the last new topic that we're going to be going over in this course. So from then on, it's really going to be about focusing in on those Moodle projects and getting them developed. So that is the work for this week. I will hopefully be getting through Phase 3 of the TIPs in a much more timely manner. As I see those come in, I will get those back to you with comments. And as always, if you have questions about anything, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. And I will be seeing you the next time we meet in person. Won't be for another few more weeks, because it won't be till that week after our spring break week. So we've got a little bit more time here in between our meetings. So don't hesitate to reach out if you need to touch base with me about something. And good luck, and enjoy the warmer weather. Take care.